Hello and welcome back to another GruntSoldiers tutorial. Obviously Modern Warfare 2 is out and we're going to find all 45 of the intel. The intels are scattered around the single player campaign missions. Just so you're aware, there are none in the Spec Ops or multiplayer levels, and you can get the intel on any difficulty level. You get 2 achievements for finding all of the intel. The first is at the halfway point and that's called Road Less Travelled. That'll bag you 10 gamer score. And then when you get all 45 of the intel, you will unlock Leave No Stone Unturned, which is again for 10G. Just to jump straight in on the mission S.S.D.D, which is the first mission, before you go down into the pit, if you turn 180 degrees, you'll find the intel right behind you on this table. That is the only intel on this mission, so we'll move on to the next. On the next mission there are loads of different classrooms when you get into the school, but if you listen out for when Foley says, "I think I saw one go into that classroom," then if you turn right and go into the nearest classroom, you should find the intel sat on a desk. The second and final intel on this mission is directly in front of you when you come out of the school. It's really hard to miss. On the third mission you will split up with McTavish, and once you do that, you'll have to go over to this position on the map here. Once you're there, you'll notice this big tower. If you climb up the ladder, you will find the intel sat on the floor. When you meet up with McTavish again, if you, instead of going left, turn right, you will find this little window here, which kind of looks into a mechanics-like warehouse. If you smash the window, then you will see the intel right in front of you on a barrel, and you can pick it up through there. The final intel on this mission is a little bit more difficult, as it's in the snowmobile section. When you see the snowmobiles drift off to the right, if you go directly through the trees in front of you, you'll find the intel on the floor. You have to slow down and get directly over the top of it before you can pick it up. So basically slow down and just keep hitting X while you're driving over the top. Once you get into the first favela on the mission Takedown, you need to be looking out for this motorbike pulled up against a wall. If you walk past that motorbike and then go into this building here, you will find the intel laid on this table. For the second on the mission Takedown, you will have to go up that ladder there, which is pretty hard to miss as you're walking through the streets of the favela. But if you go inside this little building here, you will find the intel again laid on a table. As soon as you leave the building where you got your last intel, if you turn left and go up these little steps here, you will have to go inside this building. The first thing to do is wipe out any enemies that are around with the weapons that you've got. Once you turn around this corner, you'll have to take out any last enemies, and then you will find the intel next to this bed. The last intel on Takedown is when you get onto this main street here. You've just got to turn right into this building, then go downstairs, and again you will find the intel in between 2 beds. When you come out of the alley on the mission Wolverines, you will find this gas station here. If you take out this glass window here and then you go behind the counter, you will find the intel laid there for you. To collect your second intel, you need to go right over to the left hand side of the map into the CRB finance building. The intel's location is pretty obvious once you're inside. The next intel on this mission, you have to go into the Taco Togo building across the street. Once you're inside the restaurant, if you just go over to this table here, you will find your intel. To get your final intel on this mission, you have to go over to the west from the taco restaurant to Burger Town. If you go in this little section here and look in the dumpster, you will find the intel. When you have your first open fight on the next mission on the Hornet's Nest, if you go across the road into this little yellow building here, you will find your intel. The 15th intel is when you're in the junkyard. If you just move across like you normally would, and then once you get to this point over here, you turn right, then you will find the intel laid on a barrel. Once you're on this street here, if you go into this pink building and then go straight upstairs and turn right, you'll go over onto this balcony. If you just move across and take out any enemies, then you need to turn right and again go upstairs. You will find the intel. The last intel on the mission, the Hornet's Nest, is towards the end of the level. If you find this football pitch here and then go over towards the other side behind the goal, you will find the intel. On the mission Exodus, when the BTR comes to this T-junction here, if you cross the road and go into this small little office, the intel is in there. Once you're inside, if you look on the desk, you can pick it up. For Intel 20, later on in the level Exodus, if you come to this point here and then turn right into this little room, then you've got to take out any enemies in here and then turn right again and you'll find the intel on the desk. Shortly afterwards you will cross a bridge. Once you've crossed that bridge there will be lots of buildings on the right obviously. If you go on the second one and then go upstairs, you will find the intel sat on this little sofa. On the level The Only Easy Day was yesterday, right near the beginning you will breach a door. Once you've breached that door you'll be forced to go upstairs with the rest of your team, and then you have to go up a second floor. Once you're upstairs, if you just keep running forward and then look on your left, you will find the intel on a shelf. Once you get back outside again, instead of going directly upstairs as you're supposed to, if you turn to the right and go in this little building here, you will again find the intel on a shelf. Later on in the level, you have to shoot down a helicopter. Once you've done that, instead of going upstairs, if you turn right and go underneath the stairs, then you'll find this intel. That's it for part 1. For intels 25 to 45, you're going to have to move on to part 2, so click this annotation now.